But we found the need to do a little rebranding after that. So eventually we turned into the Patriot Action Network. And what we found is that in the beginning, we all had such a strong desire to get out there and rally and put up our signs and march and do all those things. Am I right?
Yes.
We needed for people to know that we were serious, that we weren't going to sit on our couches anymore and take it. And I don't know about you guys, but my husband and I have discussed this numerous times, putting a plexiglass screen in front of our big screen TV so we can throw stuff at it. That's how we feel. And we keep talking about it. We haven't done it yet. It's just, we catch each other's arm before they throw. But in 2009, in January, I actually was just a member of Patriot Action Network, and I had this brainstorm that it was time we had a march on D.C. Now, I had been an event planner, and I had just closed my business down in October, the end of October, in 2008 because of the mortgage crisis and the housing crash and all of that. And so, I was very frustrated. I felt like you're bailing out banks and you're bailing out corporations who don't pay taxes and car companies, and then there's all of these people on Main Street America like myself who are paying taxes and doing the right thing. And where was our help? Where was our help? There was no help for us. There's no help for Main Street America because, honestly, those people don't care about us. They're the ones who created this crash. So here I am, and I go in and I start this march. I start planning this march on D.C. And over a weekend, we had like 2,500 people that were signing up in there and wanting to become a part of it. This is right before the Tea Party movement just went crazy. We were all starting to find each other because we were all disenchanted with what was going on. And there were still many more people to join our movement, and that has continued to happen over the past 5 years. But I was fortunate to be part of that entire process. That march on D.C., looking out there, standing with the Capitol behind me, or even at the beginning when we had the Star Spangled Banner, and we're singing and we're looking at the flag on top of the Capitol, and I'm hearing the voices going all the way through the mall, and myself and Louis Gohmert and some of the other representatives stood up there, and we had tears just running down our faces. It was the most spiritual thing for me that day. How many of you went to that march? All right, I know I recognize some of you. Because, we only had like 30 people there or something like that. So, over the past 5 years, we've seen a lot of groups come and go, and we've seen some that have gotten bigger and some that have come up and sort of pulled people from different groups. And everybody's trying to find their place in this movement. Everybody wants a place in this movement, but they're not really sure. Like some of like Chris's statement and some of the others, their speeches, they talked about how, it's an organic movement. How do you organize an organic movement? And do you really want to organize an organic movement? Because if you completely organize it, then we're just like what they say about the Koch brothers, and we're letting these people tell us what to do. And we don't want that either, do we? How many of you have had any donations from the Koch brothers, by the way? I'm just curious. Because I know we haven't. So we've evolved in the past 5 years, running a site with over 90-some thousand people. And of course, Grassfire has about 1.8 million, what we call active email addresses. That's how you find out how people are doing your site. You could have 10 million, but if they're not active, then you really don't have those members. That's how it works on the internet. So 1.8 million active addresses. Of those 1.8 million people, how many do you think are really engaged in the process? 3? That's a great number. Well, there's more than 3 here, so you can't go with that. Maybe that's in Texas. Yeah. No, actually, Texas did a great thing recently. Were you guys happy with that?
Yes.
Yeah. I told them on Facebook, how about a little Texas tea, anyone? I like it, I like it. So we've been told that the Tea Party is dead. You guys look like you're alive and well to me. I mean, So I don't think we're dead, but here's what I do think. Every time you hear them talk and they denigrate the Tea Party, they demonize us, they talk about how we're dead, they talk about how we've lost and all that, that actually means you're doing a great job. It actually means the opposite, because they're not going to give you anything.
Liars.
They're not going to give you anything. So you have to read everything they say the opposite. Okay? So whoever's good is really not good. They're bad. Whoever is bad are really good and they're doing a great job. Now, can we do better? Yes. All right, here's the thing that I have found. All politics are local. If any of you have ever heard me speak before, you've heard me say this in all the rallies, all politics are local. Do I want to change the narrative of politics and things that are going on in our country on the national level? Absolutely. Do you?
Yes.
Yes. Can I change from my household in Casa Grande, Arizona, what's going on in D.C.? No, I can't. No matter how much I want to. The way we change it, and I know some people have spoken on it prior to me, and I didn't bring a fancy schmancy PowerPoint or any of that kind of stuff, so you just get to look at my name and a scale. I like that. Yeah. Oh, where'd it go? Okay. Well, that works too. That works too. So, okay, and if we go by the scale, what we've seen so far is it's not in our favor, is it? It's not balanced. It's not in our favor. It hasn't been for a very long time. And just like Chris said, one of the most important things is that we do talk about social issues. I've been one of those groups because we decided in the very beginning not to call ourselves Tea Party. We just wanted to be a group that people would feel they could come to us regardless of where they stood. But we've always been Tea Party. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so I've heard people say things like you would never even imagine, even from our own side. I've seen the fighting. I have seen the national groups fight. It sickens me. And when they start fighting, you know what I do? I walk away from them. I'm not gonna play those games, even on our own side. I'm not gonna do it. And it's just not that important to me. And I'm not one that has spent a lot of time the past 5 years tooting my own horn about what I am or what I can do or who, whatever. A lot of people don't even know that I was one of the 3 national coordinators of the Historic March on D.C. because I didn't go around talking about it. Because isn't there more important stuff to do? Yes. Yeah. So here we are, 5 years later. For the most part, we've put our signs down. What's occurred? I've seen numerous people across this country get involved in the political process. Several have run for office. Some have become campaign managers, like my sister. Deborah Shaw Rhodes over there. She's my lovely campaign manager. And even though she's my older sister, I like that she's my campaign manager because I can tell her what to do for a change. It's kind of nice. I am a precinct committeeman. I hear there's about 50% of you here that are precinct committeemen. Is that correct? Or women's? Or more? The precinct level is where it's at, folks. I'm telling you, from working at a national level, we can organize, we can have Tea Party rallies, we can have marches, but until we put our signs down and we get involved at the precinct level, we are doing nothing. We are doing nothing. Now, I've worked a lot with Dan over here. He goes by Cold Warrior on the internet. If any of you have ever seen that, or you might already know Dan. But Dan is a big advocate for the precinct strategy. And actually, he came to me, it was probably sometime early in 2009, and I began promoting that on my site. And I have watched groups across this country who have followed the tenets of the precinct committeeman strategy